I'm Colin Singer, immigration lawyer and managing partner of Immigration.ca. How to apply for a temporary work permit. In this article, you will find a step-by-step description of how to apply for a temporary work permit. There are 8 steps. Step 1. Determine if you require a work permit to work in your desired job in Canada. Foreign nationals can work in certain jobs in Canada without a work permit. For a comprehensive list of Canadian jobs that do not require a work permit, click on our Jobs that do not require a work permit in Canada. Note, even if you do not need a work permit to work in Canada, you will still need to obtain legal entry to Canada. For example, you can enter Canada under a temporary resident visa. If your desired job requires a work permit, proceed to Step 2. Step 2. Determine if you are eligible to apply for a Canadian work permit. Your eligibility to apply for a work permit depends on various factors, including the location in which you apply for a work permit. All work permit applicants, however, must be able to prove that they will leave Canada when their work permit expires, be able to show that they have enough money to take care of themselves and their family members during their stay in Canada, be able to show that they have enough money for themselves and their family members to return home, have no criminal record, not be a danger to Canada, be in good health and pass a medical exam if required, not plan to work for an employer on the list of ineligible employers, not plan to work for an employer who offers erotic dance, escort, or massage services, not have worked in Canada for one or more periods that total 4 years within the past 4 years, and not be otherwise inadmissible to Canada. There are also other requirements that depend on the location in which you apply for a work permit. For more information on these requirements, click on our Work Permits Sites of Application. Step 3. Determine if you will apply online or on paper. If you apply online, you must have access to a scanner or digital camera. This will allow you to upload all required documents online to be included in your application. If you choose to apply on paper, you can obtain all necessary forms from the CIC website. Note, if you are applying under the International Experience Class program, you must submit your application online. Step 4. Obtain a positive Labor Market Impact Assessment, or LMIA, from your potential employer if required. In most cases, an employer must obtain a positive LMIA from Employment and Social Development Canada before hiring a foreign worker. Once the employer obtains a positive LMIA, it must be sent to the foreign worker applicant for inclusion in the work permit application. However, not all jobs require a positive LMIA. For more information on LMIAs, click on our Labor Market Impact Assessments link. For more information on jobs that do not require an LMIA, click on our link called Jobs that are exempt from the LMIA requirements. Step 5. Obtain a temporary job offer from your potential employer. All foreign nationals applying for a temporary work permit must have a temporary job offer from their potential employer. The employer must send a detailed job offer letter to the work permit applicant. The applicant must then attach the job offer letter to his or her work permit application. The job offer must prove that the job offer is genuine, that the wages and working conditions are high enough to attract a Canadian worker, that the employment is full-time, and that the employment is not seasonal. The letter must also include the job title, a description of the job duties and responsibilities, requirements for the job concerning education, professional credentials, work experience, skills, and required licenses. It must also include details about the start date and the end date, details on salary and the manner in which salary will be paid, the name and address of the employer, the address of the worker's future workplace, and contact information for a person at the company who is familiar with the job offer. If the employment is to take place in Quebec, the job offer must be approved by the Quebec government. For more information on applying for a work permit in Quebec, click on the link called Quebec LMIA Application Process. Note, the job offer must be submitted to the government by the employer, and a copy of the letter must be submitted by the applicant along with the work permit application. The applicant should also make sure that the employer has paid the employer compliance fee. Step 6. Gather all required documents and forms. A foreign worker applicant must obtain all the required documents above from his or her employer, as well as the following documents and forms: a valid travel document or passport, 2 photographs of yourself and photos of accompanying family members, evidence that you meet the requirements for your prospective job, a Quebec Certificate of Acceptance if it is a Quebec-based application, proof of relationships with all spouses, children, or common-law partners, completed application for the work permit made outside of Canada, form number IMM 1295, a completed document checklist, form number IMM 5488, a completed family information form, which is IMM 5645, a completed Schedule 1, which is the application for temporary resident visa. This form must be completed by the principal applicant, his or her spouse or common law partner, and all dependent children older than age 18. This form must only be completed by foreign nationals who require a temporary resident visa to enter Canada. A completed statutory declaration of common law union, form number IMM 5409, and a completed use of representative form IMM 5476. Note, you must only complete this form if a paid representative will be representing you in the application process. All dependent children older than age 18 who are using a representative must also complete this form. Step 7. Pay fees. The general fee is $155 for each person submitting a work permit application. The fee for a group of performing artists more than 3 persons is $465. Step 8. Submit the application. The application may be submitted online or to a visa application center. What happens next? After submission, CIC will check your application to ensure that all required documents are included, all forms are properly completed, all requirements are met, and all fees have been paid. If the application is incomplete, it will be returned to you. After this verification, the application will be reviewed. If it is determined that an interview is required, you will be contacted to schedule the interview. If the application is refused, you will receive all of your original documents and a letter of explanation for the refusal. If your application is accepted, you will receive all of your original documents, and if you have applied from outside of Canada, a letter of introduction confirming approval. You will receive your work permit at a Canadian port of entry upon providing the following: your letter of introduction if you applied from outside of Canada, your passport, your temporary residence visa if required, and any travel documents you are carrying, such as airline tickets. Important information. Your family members may accompany you to Canada. All family members must complete their own application forms, but the forms may be submitted together with yours. If your family members would like to work in Canada, they will have to complete their own work permit applications. In certain cases, spouses or common law partners will be eligible for an open work permit. If your children would like to study in Canada, they must submit a study permit application. For information on work permit conditions, validity, and duration, click on the link called Conditions, Term and Validity of a Temporary Work Permit.